This week, the unopening, the unboxing of yet another dash cam. The Lamttos are a fairly wide range of dash cams and other devices. Let me see if I can open this. My trusty waiter's friend. Don't know what it says about me that I've got a waiter's friend in my bag, but there you go. All right. Okay, so open. You can see that it says open. And this unit, from what we can see from the outside, is a nice widescreen Apple CarPlay unit. So this works the same way that that other one does, and you can get sound into the speakers through several different methods, and I'll talk about that in a tick. Oh, you've got to be Houdini to get into this. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, okay. That is very classy. It actually looks a little bit like a rear view mirror. It's got all the stickers on it. Let's take all those off while we're about it. Sticker on the front. And it's talking about turning on your wireless LAN when you first pair. And that's because you can use this for CarPlay. There's a second sticker on that lens. So that's what it looks like naked. You can see there's a little adjustable lens and a nice big screen. And a USB-C connection here, plus an auxiliary. Yes, and it does have a card built in. So you don't even have to worry about getting the card, which I think is pretty impressive. Let's see what else is in the box. So far we've got just the unit itself. You also get a tips and tricks card, more packing, and then a whole bunch of cords, etc. This is, yes, this is a rear camera model as well. So when you open this, if you can open this, sorry about that. Okay, there you go. You get a rather long cord, a little bit of double-sided tape, and this little dinky camera, which can go on the outside of the back of your car, or you could just as easily put it in the window. Now these, the last one that I tested also had the ability to be a backup camera. This has got a little spare wire as well, which I think is the same thing going, and so I know nothing about this. I've purposely stayed away from the specs so I could be surprised and delighted like you. So we'll go through all the specs of the cameras later. All right. So now that I know that one of those sockets in the front was for this camera. So in fact, we'll give this a little test by gluing it to the window. So I'll take that sticker off as well. Now also in the box you get some more double-sided tape, some more cables, all sorts of double-sided tape. Oh, this is interesting. First, I have to apologise. There was a suction cup after all, here, and it was behind the pad. Golden rule, always take everything out, which I normally do, but as you can see, I was doing it at the back of the car, so I didn't. So you get the auxiliary plug, and that goes into the auxiliary jack of your car for sound, to get sound into the speakers, or you can do it with FM radio, or you can do it with the speaker just in the unit itself. There is a speaker in there. Now you see that's a little bit loose. By the way, I didn't discover that suction cup until I'd already attached it. But nonetheless, I still have a spare one. Okie dokie. Let's get the, for demonstration purposes. Now you'll notice I've taken my navman down, and that's because there's only one 12-volt plug here at the front, and the cord wasn't quite long enough to go to the back where there's a second one. And I don't have a USB cable that's long enough to go from the USB outlets in the car. So there you go. Now, don't know how this is going to go. We'll soon see. There we go. All right. Now, I'm just going to so AV in, because obviously that's AV, and then I'll get the thing that I like about this cord is that it's got a USB in the end of it, so that not only can you power your camera, but you can also power another device, phone or something along those lines. All right. Okie dokie, let's get this plugged in. So this is going to look ugly, obviously, because you would not, there we go. You would not have, there we go. You would not have this looking like this in your own car. You'd have it properly installed with this incredibly long cord. It's still going. Actually, that probably would have reached the back after all. So that's how long the cord is. I mean, that's really, really long. But anyway, I'm not going to put mine back in. Let's plug that in and let's get this fired up. It's looking good. It's upside down. And you can see that it's got pretty much the same as we saw in the last unit that we tested, with the main system buttons down the side. This is very, very fast. And there's our two camera views. Now, the view from this camera is in 4K, and the view from the rear camera is not. Okay, so it's recording now. So that's recording straight out of the box, which I like. You can pair your phone to use Apple CarPlay as well. So this will do Apple CarPlay, which is what I was talking about, getting the sound from the system into the car. And probably easiest to do that with FM tuning. T86 Pro 8A7 III. Done that. Pair. Allow contacts. Okay. It's pairing, use CarPlay. All right. Right. So once I did forget the device, it did come to the device up here. So there you go. Hey Siri, call David Brown mobile.
Calling David Brown mobile.
That is using the speaker in this. As I said, you can put it through the car if you want. Sorry.
Hello.
My dear boy, how are you?
Good, I'm just doing some chainsawing. How's that for being domesticated?
I'm very impressed. I'm doing a test of a CarPlay device and dash cam, and I was wondering how clear I am.
Pretty good.
Okay, well, because I can hear.
It certainly doesn't sound too echoey. It sounds not quite as your fullest, richest tones, but pretty darn good.
Oh, thank you so much. So it doesn't sound quite the same as going through a car, but otherwise pretty good.
All right.
All right, mate.
Good.
Bye-bye.
Okay, good on you. Bye.
So that was pretty easy to use just with the device itself. Now, some of you might like to view the device as you're going along, as in the footage, and you can do that by going to the smart screen. Bear in mind, I know this looks very unchic with all of this cable stuff hanging around. All of that would be not the case if you had this set up properly. This would be in your back window, and this cable would be up, through, down the side trim, and in here like my Navman normally is. So let's have a look at some of the footage. And you can see that the camera on the left, the rear camera, is 1080p, the one on the right is 4K. Clearly the right one has a much better picture, much higher quality, and it's much easier to make out things like number plates, details, street signs, and so on and so forth. You'll notice the front camera, the dates at the top is back to front, and that's because it would normally go the other way around in the rear window, and we had to flip it to make the video. As it comes out of the tunnel, you'll notice the adjustment to light was pretty good. The camera on the right is able to read that number plate very clearly, the one on the left not so much, but in a pinch you would still be able to use that for your claim. Oh, okay, I've noticed that the CarPlay didn't join automatically. So that means I'm going to have to stop. Oh, that's annoying. I did try and connect this to the car, but I didn't have much luck. I tried the FM way and it just didn't seem to find it. And I don't have an auxiliary port, so I can't use that either.